looking good at this stage. We're looking good for 3 more points, and there you go, 4-1. Final score. And we'll outstretch the arms. Nice work, everyone. Yep. Absolutely brilliant. And that leaves us top of the table with a maximum 9 points out of 9, joined by Grimsby. Torquay next on 7. And down at the bottom, Dover on -11 are surely relegated. Wealdstone, Dagenham and Barnet yet to get off the mark on 0. So Dover 11 points from safety after 3 games. And we go into the post-match press conference. That was a fantastic performance. Mullen's goal was a bit special, wasn't it? Paul Mullen was absolutely brilliant. I think I do want to bring in an attacking midfielder, probably left side. So we'll hopefully be able to do that. And we're in. Okay, so let's carry on. Next up, it's Southend United away. We'll have a look at the squad, because we're going to need to get rid of some players as well. I can't get rid of Dibble. I'd like to, but I can't because Langton's not going to be fit for another 2 months. Defensively, I want to get rid of Harry Bell. And I think Record, purely because he isn't going to get any better, needs to go. I'm marking the surplus to requirements. He's worth £3,500. If we could get £2,000 for him, I'd take it. To be honest, I would take nothing. Take somebody just getting him off our hands. And Harry Bell definitely needs to go. He's of no use whatsoever. He can just go for nothing. And I'm going to get rid of Jake Hyde as well. He's only worth 6 to 18, so we'll get rid of him for... We'll offer him out for £5,000. go on and see whether we can generate any interest off the back of those. So we've got 4 days until the Southend game. Fingers crossed we can get at least one player out the door before then. Okay, so nothing so far. Sorry, another text message. Oh, it's just my wife. We're just waiting for the clock to tick round, and we'll find out whether we've had any bites in regards to the players we've offered out. Because we're over our wage budget, so we can't bring in unless we get rid of at least a couple of players. But it's not looking so good at the moment. My apologies, it seems to have gone a little slow at the minute. It's not moving on at the moment. I don't think we've got a crash situation. I think it's just that the game's running slowly. There we go, we're back in. And have we got any offers? So we'll have a look at the induction. I'm literally just going to whiz through this straight away. So that's that induction gone through. I would normally spend a bit longer doing that, but we've got matches we need to get played. So we're going to keep going. Oh, we've got an offer for record. £2,000. They're offering 1,300. I'm just going to accept that. Yes, we'll accept that offer. got the Manager of the Month award, which has obviously pleased Ryan Reynolds. Michael Jordan is our under-18s goalkeeping coach. Right. Let's have a look at the transfer budget now. Still £1,000 over budget. What does Record earn in a week? 600 quid. So even with Record gone, we're still over budget, so we can't bring anybody in yet. We are going to need to make some changes for the Southend game. I'm going to be nice about Kevin Mayer. It won't affect his performance. Yeah, he's one of our most important players. Mullin is absolutely on fire at the minute. Bentosa, yeah, we do rely on him. McAlinden, definitely. And there you go, I'll back my player. Records off to Woking. And we're now £276 over wage budget, so we need one more player to leave. And that man is going to be Jake Hyde, hopefully. Or Harry Bell. I'm going to let him go. For nothing, just to get him off the... Let him go for nothing just to get him off the wage bill. Don't know if it'll work, but yeah, I'll get rid of him. Even paying the wages should get us underneath the wage budget now. Only just. Should mean we can bring in a player after this match. So I'm going to hit quick pick. It has made a couple of changes, so we're going to go with that selection. And we're into the match. We're away at Southend today, so we'll drop some encouragement early on, as we usually do away from home. We're on top early on. It's looking good. Southend have the first major highlights. We'll hit demand more at this point. White to Hobson, Hobson to Ferguson, Ferguson to Akinola. Steck's made a save. I'm not sure how he's got there. Genuinely don't know how he's made that save. Akinola's murdering our players there. Our left back's having a nightmare row. Young to Jones, Jones to Mullin, Mullin to McAlinden, McAlinden over the top. We absolutely need to demand more at this point. Davis looks like he's going to have to come off at half time. But Marek Steck's grabbed that out of the sky. What a fantastic goalkeeper. Davis gives it to Rowe, Rowe to Mullin. Mullin's hit the post. And Nathan Ralph smashes it clear. We've been woeful in the first half against Southend. So we'll thrash the arms, far from pleased. And obviously we need to take... We'll move McAlinden over to the left. Davis off for Angus. Callum Rowe. Cameron Green. We'll leave it there. If we haven't scored on the hour, I'm going to bring Wootton on for Mullin. I know it's very early to make all three subs, but we need to win this game. So we're going to demand more. Mullin for Wootton. Mullin gives it to Hosanna. It's gone out of play, so that's the sub made. Wootton's on. Gonna hit them with another demand more at this stage. As soon as we can. Don't think we've got any subs left. No, we haven't. And that's Nathan Ferguson, a score for Southend. When you don't take your chances, that is what happens. Absolutely gutted. Demanding more, but there's no chance of anything. There's not the time. And that's cost us defeat. Our first defeat of the season. We'll thrash the arms. Tell them we're far from pleased. might send the assistant for that press conference. So we've now got 7 days until we face Woking at home in our next match. So we're going to have to focus on Jake Hyde. So Yeovil want him on loan, but I'm not going to let him go on loan. So we'll reject all loan offers. And he can go to Kidderminster. Need him to go, really. The injury to Devontae Redmond isn't going to make much difference because we're not really going to play him anyway. So 2 days now till the Woking game, but still no movement. So we go to the pre-match press conference. Yeah, we've got to do much better in this game. Every team's got the capacity to surprise, so that's what we'll say with that. We need a reaction in the Woking game. We absolutely need a reaction. Oh, Jake Hyde's agreed to join Kidderminster. So his wages fall from £1,000 a week to £350. So now we've got £152,000 in transfers. So we've dropped that to 118 and we've got over £1,000 a week. Let's go and have a look at what we need. What do we really need? We're good at right back. We've got 3 good centre backs, 2 decent left backs. We need another we need a defensive midfielder. And we need a left winger. So we'll go for, I think the left winger is probably more of a priority. Matty Doan, 33, and rated as a C. Jimmy Toure, 27 and a C+. So we'll go with Jimmy Toure then. And they've accepted the offer. So once we get him in, try and get him for £1,000 a week. He's disappointed with that. We'll go to 1,200. Climb at 1.3 and we've got a deal. Fantastic. So it looks like we might have our man. Don't think he'll be in time for the Woking game, and indeed he's not. There will be some changes. So we'll just swap those two around, and that's fine. There we go. So we're in for the next game. So I line up, Marek Steck in goal, the back four of Hosanna, Hayden, Lennon and Rowe. Tozer at the base of the midfield, ahead of him Young and James Jones. Angus and McAlinden out wide and Mullin up front, leading the line as always. We'll outstretch the arms. No, we'll pump the fists and tell them it's a match we should be winning and make sure that we do. And let's go for it. So we'll fire them up to start with. Hasn't really worked. Woking are having the better of it so far. So we'll hit them with a demand more at this point. Been precious little in the way of goalmouth action in this game. Angus over the top, Mullin, and he puts his first chance away. That boy is absolutely lethal. And that's enough to take us back to the top of the league. Ross has it at the back for Woking. He's lumped it forward. But Rowe's got it at the back. Oh, he's given away a penalty. Lennon. Can Marek Steck get us out of danger? He's only gone and saved it. So Woking, as you can see, down in 15th place. We're back on top of the league. Points from a possible 15. Disappointing first half, really. Hayden's a little bit upset. McAlinden's had a terrible game. Might give Cameron Green a go. On the left wing. Rowe at left back. Down the line to Green. Green takes it inside, but he's lost the ball. Johnson's got it on the edge of the area. Backed up by Casey. Casey fires it across, but Rose headed it clear. But it keeps coming back. Sooner or later they are going to score. We'll drop a demand more on this because I'm a little bit worried about the way this is going. Tozer, I'm going to bring on David Jones on set. I'll wait till 70, I think, to do this change. McNerney's got it. He's pushed back. Angus to Hosanna. Hosanna to Hayden. Hayden to Lennon. Lennon over the top. Mullin runs through and he's buried it. It's 2-0. And that looks a lot healthier. Still going to wait. Right, the 70th minute has been passed. We've got one sub remaining. The Angus for Wotton, I think. But what we'll do, once Mullin has either buried this or not, we'll get him on. I'm going to swap Wotton for Mullin. Give Wotton a run up front. And hopefully we're starting to put ourselves into some decent form. And that's another win. That's a great result. So we'll give him a well done, nice pat on the head and send him home. Okay. And that, as you can see, leaves us top of the league, but Grimsby do have a game in hand. So we will need to beat Grimsby at some point. Gives us a platform to build on, being top of the league. Mullin was brilliant, and that's it. You only usually get a couple of questions in the conference, in the National League press conferences. So we'll move on at this point. Whitbread, Spencer Whitbread is an under-18s fitness coach. We'll bring him in. As I said previously, I don't get involved in coaching the under-18s. And as if by magic, up next is a trip to Grimsby. The very definition of a must-win game. Toure is in. That's a brilliant signing. I couldn't be more pleased with that. So we'll get Young to welcome him in. And he's done it. Give me Toure. And he's going to play left wing. Even though he's listed there as a right winger, he's actually going to play left wing. McAlinden then can play right wing. Mullin and Wootton can rotate the striker role. So that will do for changes for this game. And that also satisfies the promise to strengthen the midfield. So we'll swap them round actually, because McAlinden is better on the left and Jimmy Toure is just as good in both. Jimmy Toure, he's not having the number 3 shirt, he can have the number 9 shirt. And the lineup for the trip to Grimsby: Marek Steck in goal, the back four of Hosanna, Hayden, Lennon and Rowe, Tozer at the base of midfield, Luke Young and James Jones in midfield, Toure and McAlinden out wide, Mullin up top, tell them to go out and impress us, and we're going to drop encouragement straight away because we're away. I would actually take a draw in this game, but I'm not going to tell the players that at any stage. Because if we can win this game, it puts us in a massively advantageous position. A win here would be absolutely huge, but we're behind early on. It's Max Wright with a goal for Grimsby. Very, very disappointing. So we're going to drop a demand more at this stage, as that drops us down to 3rd. Rose having a stinker at left back. That's terrible, that first half. So we're going to thrash the arms and tell them they've been terrible. And we'll be making at least a couple of changes. I would think McAlinden's off. Kyle Wootton. Paul Mullin. Kyle Wootton, and Bryce Hosanna has been awful, so Reece Hall-Johnston comes on, and we'll make do with that for now. We'll send them out and we'll demand more so the crowd know that we're unhappy with the way things are going. We're actually ahead on XG though. Tells you what a terrible game it's been. Hunt, but it's offside, so we got away with that one, and now we're behind on XG for the first time, so we definitely need to demand more at this stage. Quite a few players are getting tired now. So Jones for Jones in midfield. He's gone down and it's a penalty. Mullin in his own box defending. He's given away the spot kick. Riley Towler. Keeper couldn't repeat the heroics. It's 2-0. Grimsby have just been better than us today. It's been disappointing, I have to say. Toure got on the end of that, couldn't direct his header. And that's the end of the match. We've lost and it was awful. So we'll tell them we're far from pleased and we'll move on. Six games, 12 points. So we're going along at 2 points a game. It's not too bad. But we didn't play well. Just tell them they're not getting the day off tomorrow. To be honest, I could have made a lot more changes. I don't think there'll be any more activity. I was never interested in him, so I don't know what they're on about. We need another game as quickly as possible now, and we've got one in 4 days against Dagenham, who are really struggling. So let's see what we can do. Yes, he'll play mainly there, obviously, but as you've seen, he can play on either wing. Yes, he can be anything he wants to be. He can be a Wrexham legend. Perfect for us. Yeah, he needs to be versatile. He's going to have to be, I think, over the course of this season. Next up is Dagenham. Let's just advance the game clock to the Dagenham game. Get that one played. We need another game as quickly as possible just to get over that defeat. Too generous. There won't be many questions. Mullin's been brilliant. Thomas has a long way to go. Marek's deck is brilliant, so delighted to have him. Rob Lainton will be back before the end of October, so we'll have 2 quality goalkeepers moving forward. Davis passes the fitness test, Redmond passes one, and Langton's not ready for one. Touré's going to have to play on the right again. Davis might be able to take McAlinden's spot. No, Davis is worse than McAlinden. So that's the team. Marek's deck in goal, Hosanna, Hayden, Lennon and Rowe the back 4, Tozer at the base of midfield, Young and Jones in the middle, Toure and McAlinden out wide, Mullin up top. Absolutely should be winning this game, so let's give it 10 minutes and drop a demand more if nothing's happening. Mullin's finding himself marked out of the game pretty much at the moment. Young with an absolutely glorious challenge there. Young's played it through, he's a baller. And Paul Mullin buries another one. He's on, was that 9 for the season already? Surely not. We're now only off the top on goal difference. But Grimsby have 2 games in hand. Well, we'll drop a demand more. We could do with another goal. It's a penalty, I'm not quite sure what happened there. It's a handball and it's a red card, and we're playing against 10 men for the next 55 minutes. Mullin scores the penalty for 2-0. Absolutely just passed it into the corner. That is his 10th of the season. So it was 9 goals he was on previously. Dagenham are trying to have a go, to their credit. And they've scored. look at this and see who was at fault. Not sure. We'll point the finger and tell them I don't like what we just saw. Send them out. Hosanna for Hall Johnston. Torre off for Angus. McAlinden gets the ball, runs forward, plays Jones in, Jones plays Mullin in, and Mullin scores. He's on 11 for the season already. McAlinden to Jones. Jones lays it on a plate for Mullin. What a finish. And we'll got one more sub available if we need it. Might have to be Rowe for Cameron Green as the final change with about 15 minutes to go. Jones to Green. Green goes down the wing, back to Tozer. It's looped up in the air, but it's a corner. And that's a great goal from McAlinden. 4-1. The game is not in doubt at this point. As Angus turns his man inside out and McAlinden scores. So we'll outstretch the arms and tell them that was good. Then we shall move forward to the press conference. Yeah, we were great, weren't we? Mullin's hat-trick was tremendous. Yeah, we can stay there, despite the fact we've played 2 games more than some of the other teams. Let's just have a look at what the fixtures going forward are. We've got Stockport County away next up on the 25th, so that's a week away. So that will probably be the last game of tonight's stream. In fact, it will be. We'll make that the last one tonight. and then I already know who I'm going to go and raid. So we'll get this one done. Have a quick look at the stats. And then we'll launch a raid. So we're signing an under-18s coach. Again, as before, not interested, it's the under-18s. So we'll go into the press conference. How challenging is it? Yeah, if we play like that, we can play like that again. Yeah, we need to be patient with Jordan Davis. For Lincoln City left back Sean Ruffin. No. Yeah, look, getting on really well with Ryan. James Jones could absolutely make the difference. McAlinden, it's his sort of match. Harry Lennon has my back in. I've got his back. No problem whatsoever. James Jones is sadly going to miss the Stockport game due to illness. And yeah, James Jones is going to have to miss that one. Is David Jones the right answer? Probably. Yeah, I think he is. We'll keep them that way round. And we'll go. So it's one Jones for another. And the team for the Stockport game: Steck in goal, Hosanna, Hayden, Lennon and Rowe, the familiar back four, Tozer at the base of midfield, Jones and Young ahead of him, Toure, McAlinden out wide, Mullin up front. I'm going to point the finger, tell them I want them to pick up where they left off, and we'll drop some encouragement. Stockport are a decent side. We'll we're getting overrun, so I'm going to demand more at this point. That was close. Stockport are having the better of this. By some considerable margin. We need to do something about this. I thought he'd scored there, to be honest. Crankshaw. It's gone in off Paddy Madden. Stockport lead. We're starting to struggle away from home. Lennon missed it. I'm going to thrash the arms. Tell them they've been terrible. If I can take Lennon off. I'll put Tozer into the defence. Harry Lennon for Luke Young. Aaron Hayden. What can Callum Rowe do? Anyway, down the left. Aaron Hayden as a defensive midfielder. I'm actually going to bring on Kyle Wootton, and we're going 2 up top for this one. So we're going 4-2-4. Kyle Wootton. No, I'm not going to waste him as an advance. I'm going to put him as a target forward on attack. Let's go for it. See what happens. Let's demand a bit more. Tozer now at the back. Lennon. He's trying to be a bit too direct that time. Fish has got it for Stockport. Crankshaw. Crankshaw's got it sewn up at the moment, the way he's playing. Rowe down the left wing for McAlinden. Mullin off the crossbar. Toure. Lennon's absolutely taken him out there, and he's got away with that one. Jones. Oh, what a header that is from Luke Young. What an equaliser. Still going to demand more because we need to be winning this one. Mullin for Jones, back to Mullin, Young, Jones, Jones out wide to Toure. Toure whips across, but it's cut out and Friars has got it. Suddenly Paddy Madden's on it. Whitfield on the wing for Stockport. Toure is, I think, going to be sent off here. And he is. It's all gone wrong. So, AML, Liam McAlinden. Carl Wootton can't play there. We'll just jig it round like that very slightly, put Mullin in behind McAlinden and Wootton. We're going to go for it. We're gonna go positive. We need to win the game. We won't be able to hold on for a draw, so we might as well lose trying to win it. That might well be what happens, but my assistant wants us to go very defensive. I ain't doing that. We'll drop a demand more at this stage. McAlinden for Angus. We have one last chance, possibly. Angus has only come on and won it in stoppage time. Let's have a look at that. So the throw-in goes to Angus. Angus plays it back to Hosanna. Hosanna gives him the ball back and he just smashes it. That's an absolutely fantastic result. And that was how we ended up 4-2-1-2. Gonna outstretch the arms and tell them they were brilliant. So that leaves us 1 point behind Grimsby, who have a game in hand. Toure is banned. No option for appeal, of course, because it was a second yellow card. So we will yeah, we were a bit lucky. was a bit of a let off. Yeah, teams would have folded in those circumstances. I think that's entirely fair. That is what football is all about. Bryce Hosanna played really well. Jimmy's going to sit out a couple of games, but that's fine. So as we said, we'll now just have a quick look around the stats. So the Vanarama National League, as we said, was second in the table. 6 wins from 8 games. Both defeats away at Grimsby and Southend. Grimsby are top of the table. Sorry, that's a text message from my wife. Just need to very quickly respond to that one, which I'll just do now. Let me just get myself back in. Okay. So you can see 6 wins from 8. But if we have a look at the home record, we're top of the table with 4 wins out of 4. Our away record, we're 8th with 6 points from 4 games. Scored 4, conceded 5, so we've got a negative away goal difference, which is a slight problem. What have we got in terms of games coming up? October, we go to Aldershot next and then Chesterfield at home. So Aldershot's another tough game. Chesterfield are on the fringe of the playoffs. Okay. I am going to look for someone to raid. And it is going to be Mr. Tony Jameson. So let's do that right now. Okay, so What's his name? Let's just check his username. Tony Jameson FM.
Let's support. Together we all grow. That's the way it works, man. Yeah. We followed Dave Goodger. We helped Dave Goodger when he started. We helped him grow when he started. So that's the way it is. Matty Aqua, he's been one of ours as well. So yeah, good pillar to follow us. Relatively, so probably slightly more down the left hand side, I think, than the right hand side. Nice interchange between our centre backs. Not much going between our two centre midfielders, which is quite interesting to be honest. So that's their midfielders. Okay, so they go wide. So we go through the middle, absolutely smashed through the ball. But they're predominantly going down the left. So we obviously have to have a little bit of a look at our right, which is fine. Antara's not too shabby. He's got a bit of pace about him. His marking's not the best, but also that could potentially only be because they've gone down the right against that opponent. So something to think about. It shouldn't necessarily be the first thing we do is go right, drop Kim, drop Jeff down into a defensive role. We'll look at it, if needs be. If needs be, we have to move Hariganto in there as well to a slightly more defensive role. We will, but it's worth keeping our eyes open on it. Atep's due a run out, I think. But you know what? Yuskin Toro did pretty well actually. So likes dogs and maybe 3 people. What a name! Appreciate the follow, very kind indeed. Big Cod's the only one got a full true ninja of the league. Yeah, it's as if he never even existed. He just turns up, scores goals, and then just fucks off again. Just goes, nah. That hasn't quite worked. A slight issue with the skin, is it? There we go. That's better. I've got to do it that way. That's fine. Yeah, we're just working this on now. So it went from abysmal to very poor. There we go. Progress. Excuse me. And also, as well, as obvious as it sounds, win games on, and that also helps cohesion. Which I know sounds both obvious and counterintuitive at the same time. Like, oh, just do a win, that'll get your cohesion up. But yeah, it is actually the easiest way to do it. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a good shout, actually, Charlie. So yeah, get a friendly against the local amateur team, smash them, get your confidence up that way. That's a really good shout. Let's give him a